$3, 25, 26 Upper Deck Chicago Blackhawks Centennial box set featuring 100 cards per box set. Any given box set of Chicago Blackhawks Centennial, we should be expecting the 100 card base set, 3 bronze parallel per box, 1 gold parallel per box, and a Masters of the Madhouse insert. Also a decent chance of autograph. So let's check out the Centennial box set for the Blackhawks, celebrating their 100th anniversary. But before we get into today's video, this video is sponsored by GP Sports Cards. Be sure to check out Friday Night Break, going down this Friday, September 5th, featuring a host of new break options, including 2 new break options for SBA, a couple break options for Ultimate Collection with a huge $5,000 Rookie Shield Auto Bounty. You got some 21-22 Stature, you got some 22-23 Premier, 3 Years of Cup Mega Mixer with Toronto Expo Pack. You have a 6-box hit select of 21-22 the Cup, and a 6-box hit select of 23-24 the Cup. And this Friday's Mega Mixer features 20-21 the Cup, 21-22 the Cup, Ultimate GP buybacks, and much more. So be sure to check out Friday Night Break. Also be sure to check out Toews Sports Cards, the retail storefront for GP Sports Cards, located in Toronto, Ontario, which is Upper Deck authorized internet retailer. So be sure to check out news/upcoming product at tollsportscards.com. So thank you GP for sponsoring today's video. Also in the description, scan to today's video. Alright, 25-26 Upper Deck Chicago Blackhawks Centennial box set. Before I continue on, these boxes cost $60 Canadian. I've seen these from $50 US. Now keep this in mind, this is a 100 card retail box set. There will be a hobby version where you get 3 hits per box. It'll be like $230 or like $150, $160 US. That'll be coming out in like 3 to 4 months. On top of that, we should be expecting the Rangers and Red Wings to have a Centennial set. But for the Blackhawks, we have the retail box set featuring 105 cards per box set. Again, we should be getting the entire 100 card base set. 2 different parallels that aren't autographed. The bronze, they should be getting 3 per box. A gold, 1 per box. On top of that, there is 1 insert per box. Masters of the Madhouse. That's an 18 card insert set. Now, the most intriguing chase for this would be the autographed parallel as I look for it here. They are 1 in 10 boxes here. So 1 in 10 box sets for the autograph. Yes, they are sticker autographs. There's 61 on the checklist. There's a lot of short prints and super short prints. Bedard is a super short print. But it features a very intriguing checklist. Why is Scott Darling on there? But there's a wide variety of interesting names in there. You got Andrew Shaw, Patrick Kane, Eddie Belfour is a super short print. Bobby Hall's a super short print, even though he's deceased. Saying a lot of signers, that's cool. There's Corey Crawford, Patrick Lalime, Denny Savard, that's cool. Of course, you got guys on the front, JR, Chris Chelios, both SSPs. Hashik's in here as well as SSP, but yeah, that's the target here. Either that or get a good gold. But let's check it out. Alright, Blackhawks Centennial box set. Yes, the Blackhawks are still my second favorite team, even though I've been a bit of a Bedard retractor as of late. I mean, the expectations are just sky high. He's going to be a superstar, but his prices are still hard to justify, but we'll see. Here we go. Okay, well, Patrick Lalime on the top. Okay, what is that, like late 2000s there? Obviously more known as a Send, but this will definitely be an interesting one here. So how do I get this open? The first one here, I will go through slowly. So is this card 1 or are they all random? Card 65. They're not 1 through 100. You gotta sort them yourself, but we start off with Patrick Lalime, but played 06 to 08, so that must be 07-08, because they switched to the Edge jersey in 07-08. Also for Kane and Jonathan's rookie year, they had the WWW on the left shoulder, but this is a random thing there. Then you have Bob Probert, cool. Rest in peace, heavyweight tough guy there. Then there's Marty Turco from 10-11, barely playing there, more known as a star, obviously. Then you have Adrian O'Coin, the pre-Kane and Toews era Blackhawks there. Then Nick Hjalmarsson, Hammer, great defensive defenseman there. Part of the 3 Stanley Cup winning teams there. You get Grant Mulvey from 74 to 83. And Darren Pang, that's cool. Mid to late 80s there for Pang. Now the color commentator for the Blackhawks. Then we have Andrew Ladd, high pick there, solid career. Then we have Marcus Kruger, good 2-way center for the Blackhawks there. Got 2 cups of the A. Dave Bolin, nice. Came up huge for the Blackhawks in 2013 against the Boston Bruins there. There's JR, of course, one of the more iconic Blackhawks there. Then we have Connor Murphy, current active Blackhawk there. Then you have Stan Mikita, that's cool. All-time great Blackhawk there. Shows the career stats for the Blackhawks. Yeah, I should have pointed out earlier, but it should show their whole career as a Blackhawks, right? Yeah. So here goes Stan Mikita, all-time leader in points for the Blackhawks there, Kate. There's Darcy Rhoda in the 70s there. There's Marion Hossa, nice. 3-time cup winner. Huge piece for them in their cup runs there. And there's Marty Lapointe. So this is a cool box set here. Kevin Korchinski, still very much a prospect there. Big buff. Only won the cups there, but very impactful NHL career there. The Dominator, Don McCashik, one of the best goalies of all time. Only played briefly for the Blackhawks in the early 90s there. Has his rookie cards with the Blackhawks. Craig Anderson, another guy that's more known for playing elsewhere, mainly like the Avalanche and Sens, but Craig Anderson. There's Corey Crawford, there you go. There's the goalie for the 2013 and 15 team. Blackhawks legend there. Not all these guys are legends, which is interesting. Well, obviously you can't have 100 legends in here, but there's Jocelyn Thibault. Then you have Tony Amonte. Some prominent guys in the late 90s, early 2000s. There's Philip Kurashev. I want to say I was a Sharks there. There's Cristobal. Not necessarily known to be in the Blackhawks, but there's Steve Larmer, one of the best Blackhawks back in the 80s there. Then you have Kurt Fraser. Then you have Dirk Graham, who's had cards recently, like autographs and stuff there. There's Dirk Graham. There's Brian Campbell, all defenseman there. And Steve Smith. And the top player, probably the biggest face of this franchise, even though now in the Red Wings, but Patty Kane, there you go. 1225 career points for the Blackhawks. Almost was kind of hoping he'd come back to Chicago, but I think his odds of winning anything are probably equivalent with the Red Wings and Blackhawks, even though the Blackhawks' current state late, but Kane. All right, let's continue on Blackhawks Centennial. There's Phil Housley, great defenseman there. Then you have Alexei Zhamnov. And you have Andrew Shaw, nice, one of my guys. Awesome there. He had a brief stint with the Habs, that's why it's segmented there. But you have Tony Esposito, legendary goaltender there. There's Scott Darling, not so much. I remember seeing the Blackhawks versus the Senators in Ottawa, and Scott Darling's in that. I wanted to see Corey Crawford, but okay, remember against Young Guns from 14-15 Series 2. Brandon Saad, still playing, part of Vegas now, still a solid player. Then you have Bernie Nichols, another guy that's not really known for being a Blackhawk, barely played for them there. There's Denny Savard, Blackhawks legend there, 1,096 career points, definitely an all-time great for them. There's Terry Ruskowski, another guy that didn't play a whole lot for them, but I appreciate the more obscure names. There's Artemi Panarin, linked with Brandon Saad there. Questionable trade, only played 2 years for the Blackhawks, but okay, there's your 2010 Cup-winning goalie there, Antti Niemi. Then you have Connor Bedard. I don't know if any of these have values. I'll throw up the ka-ching if any of these do have values. I'm assuming like the bronze and golds will have values. The autographs obviously will have values, but there's Connor Bedard. Then you have Jeff Hackett, goalie there, also played for the Habs. Then you have Al Secord, played from the 80s. Then you have Dave Manson, Bruiser D-Man. His son Josh is on the Avalanche. Then you have Alex Vlasic. He's a current piece for the current Hawks team. Then you have Troy Brower. Then you have Daryl Sutter, definitely more known recently for coaching, especially beating out the Blackhawks in 2014 as the head coach of the LA Kings. But there's Eddie Olczyk, still in media there. Then you have Johnny Oduya, played for Pittsburgh after that 2015 team, right? Then there's Wendell Clark, which that just looks wrong there, 1999. How many games did he play for them? 13 games. Then there's Rich Preston, Chris Versteeg, nice. Got traded to the Leafs there. I think he was like a Calder finalist one year there, but he was decent middle six forward there. There's Michel Goulet, another guy you wouldn't think Blackhawks, but that's interesting. There's Ryan Donato, see if he can build on his career year. He probably won't get as many points this upcoming year, but career years past year. There's Phil Russell, the 70s. There's Dennis Hall. I haven't seen too many like pre-70s players, but there's Dennis Hall, 64 to 77. There's Brent Seabrook, core piece for the dynasty, if you want to call it that. I'm going to call it dynasty, but terrific defenseman there. Then you got Keith Brown. All right, coming down to it. Again, I'm going slow for the first one here. Then the next one will just reveal what the golds and bronze and potential autographs are, but there's Kyle Calder. And then you have Chris Chelios, very prominent name, very long career, played almost a decade for the Blackhawks. Billy Mikheyev, current Blackhawks. Did it have 24-25 stats? It does. There you go. He had 20 goals past year. He was actually quite good for the Blackhawks past year. So there's Wayne Presley. There's Michael Handzus, 2013 winner there. There's Cliff Harrell there, 69 to 80. There's Nick Leddy. Then you have Steve Sullivan, former Pred, former Leaf. He was on a lot of teams there. Then you have Eddie Belfour, Hall of Fame goaltender there. So that's really cool. Iconic goaltender there. So there's Eddie Belfour. Jim Pappin. There's Paul Coffey, another weird one there. When you think Paul Coffey, you think of Oilers, obviously. Maybe even some Penguins, but not Blackhawks. Only 10 games. I guess he'll go with Wendell Clark in the obscure Blackhawks, okay? Which is cool. I really like that. But there's JP Bortolo from 72 to 80. There's Reg Kerr. There's Stu Grimson. Tough guy there. Then you have Patrick Sharp. Nice. Huge part of the dynasty. Blackhawks great there. Then you have Keith Carney. Another guy from the 90s. There's Jonathan Toews. Blackhawks legend. All-time great there. Returning to the NHL as the Winnipeg Jets. See how that goes. But wish him the best there. There's Jeff Shantz. Another 90s guy. Then you have Teuvo Teravainen, who's back on the Blackhawks. Won the Cup as like a 20-year-old. 2015 there. There's Keith Magnuson and Eric Daze. All right, we're really coming down to it. The 5 cards of consequence right there. There's Bobby Hall, Blackhawks legend there. Most goals by any Blackhawk. So he has sticker odds in here, which is kind of baffling. I guess they have some sticker odds laying around. So interesting there. You got Nick Foligno, current captain of the Blackhawks. Oh, geez. There's Glenn Hall, legendary goalie there. Then you got Doug Wilson, another Blackhawks great there. Then you got Lucas Reichel, not so much. There's Troy Murray. Then you got John Mark, 72 to 82 there. Nephew Tyler, nice. 1 year for the Blackhawks there. There's Dougie Gilmore, another guy. You can throw him with Paul Coffey and Wendell Clark, but he actually had 2 seasons, pretty much 2 full seasons with the Blackhawks there in the late 90s. You got Eric Weinrich. There's Brent Sutter, another Sutter there. There's Brian Bickle, retired with the Hurricanes, who retired early there, but another key guy in the Cup wins there. There's Jason Dickinson, current guy for the Blackhawks. There's Dwayne Sutter, another Sutter there. There's Phil Esposito. Obviously, Phil Esposito is a Boston Bruin, but played 4 years for the Blackhawks there, so okay. You got Dale Talon, who was more or less the architect for the dynasty. Wasn't Stan Bowman. Then you have Tom Lysiak there, another 80s guy. There's Mark Bell. I remember him on the Leafs. I think he injured Alfredson or something, but then you have Duncan Keith, obviously Hall of Fame defenseman there. He was incredible, the 2015 playoffs on Smythe winner. And here we go. We have the bronzes and the gold. I don't know if we have an autograph. I guess we'll reveal the insert here. Masters of the Madhouse, Al Secord. So you get one of these per box set. That's number 15. There's 18 on the checklist. These are printed in Canada, which is kind of weird. So okay. Here we go. Doesn't look like we have an autograph in the first one here, but Craig Anderson is our first bronze. Then we have Corey Crawford, another goalie. Looks like we have 3 goalies here. No. Yeah, 3 goalies. Okay. Jocelyn Thibault. I'll take that Corey Crawford there. Definitely the most prominent of the 3. You know, all 3 had pretty good careers. And then our golds on the back there, Dale Talon. Get one of these gold per box. No autograph in this one, but there you go. There's Dale Talon. All right, here we go. We got 2 more. We'll speed run them, see if we get an autograph in them, and see what our gold is. All right, next one up here, Patrick Lalime on the front. I don't know why Lalime's on the front. I just think of him letting up goals of Joe Nieuwendyk in the Battle of Ontario in 2004 or 3 is one of those years. But here we go. Here's those base once again. They're very nice base. I really do like these base here. a part of the box set, so definitely keep one of these completed sets. Okay, there's Bedard again. I don't know if that has any value. It probably does have some value, so let's go through these quickly again there, okay? I doubt they'll just put the autograph within the base here if there is an autograph. It's only 1 in 10. It's very possible, but let's get down to it here. All right, let's check out the Madhouse card there. Masters of the Madhouse, Steve Larmer. Masters of the Madhouse, okay? And it looks like we have 4 cards here, so we don't have an autograph in this one either, but our first bronze, Kevin Korchinski. Then we have Dustin Byfuglien, nice. And we have Dominic Hasek, nice. Bronze, that's probably a good one there. Bronze. Well, who are we hoping for the gold? Obviously, we're looking for like Patrick Kane. I mean, Bedard will be monetarily good, but hey, Phil Esposito, the oddball ones there. I'll take that. There's the gold, so that's a solid gold right there. All right, final box. And yes, if there are Red Wings and Rangers version of this, I'll definitely check them out. Definitely check out the hobby versions. The hobby stuff, I mean, the Bruins was great. Not on the level of the Habs back in 09, but still pretty solid. So let's see what we have in this one here. Let's just 90% this right now. Just go through that there, okay? Let's grab these and just do that, okay? And let's go till, oh geez, what do we got here? Okay, well, I don't think we have an autograph in here unless it's in the base clump, which I doubt it is. But we have the remaining 5 cards here. First up here, Madhouse Bob Probert fitting there for sure. We have a Jonathan Toews bronze, nice. One of the top players to get there. And we have Jeff Shantz, another bronze. And we have Teuvo Teravainen, not a bad one there. And our gold, who is our gold? Mark Bell, okay. It's our final gold parallel to finish off this break. Yeah, guys, there's 3 boxes. Upper Deck Chicago Blackhawks Centennial box set. Definitely a cool box set if you're a Blackhawks fan. Very cool there. Not sure any of the notable omissions from this, but definitely some oddball names in there. Now you get one of these Masters of the Madhouse per box. You got Steve Larmer, Bob Probert, and Al Secord. And then you get 3 bronze and 1 gold per. Did not get an autograph, unfortunately, but our bronzes were Tebow, Hasek, there's Craig Anderson, Corey Crawford, a lot of goalies, Jonathan Toews, which is nice. There's Teuvo Teravainen, Jeff Shantz, Dustin Byfuglien, and Kevin Korchinski. And our 3 golds, we got Mark Bell, which is not the best one there. You got Dale Talon, which is alright. And you got Phil Esposito, which is cool. So, all in all, that was pretty cool there. Yeah, guys. Stay tuned for more breaks to come. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys later.